Welcome to the Office of Accreditation and Assessment's presentation on Monday.com, learning how to plan, track, and manage your accreditation. The Office of Accreditation and Assessment uses Monday.com, which has been used by OAA to maintain the schedule management system for specialized accreditation. This might seem intimidating at first, but once you get the hang of it, it should become second nature. Here is a brief overview of the topics that are going to be covered within this training. What is Monday.com? Why are we using it over any other platform to manage the accreditation schedule? The purpose of the accreditation schedule management system. What individuals and/or stakeholders have access to these boards? How to understand the speak of Monday.com, for example, what is a workspace versus a board, etc. The steps to log in to Monday.com. An in-depth explanation of each of the fields that appear on your accreditation board. More about requests for biannual updates every fall and spring twice an academic year. Also included are resources for stakeholders and also additional websites to look at. Other departments utilize Monday.com successfully as a project management system to streamline workflow in their individual departments. This has in turn turned into a useful tool to have workflow all in one place at the user's fingertips. The purpose of the accreditation schedule management system is threefold. One, it provides a tangible way to track dates of accreditation-related events, for example, self-study due dates, annual report due dates, site visit dates, dates for financials, etc. Two, it's a helpful aid to plan events related to specialized accreditation, to anticipate when and what you need to do for your next accreditation-related event. Three, it keeps all accreditation-related events organized for all stakeholders to have access. Who has access to Monday.com Accreditation Schedule Management System? The Provost/SVPAA Office, OAA at WKU and Kean USA, and the SADE leadership have access to all 6 boards for all 6 colleges. On the other hand, all deans and designees, chairpersons of programs with specialized accreditation, designated accreditation coordinators, and any other designated individuals have access to only the board for their specific college. Monday.com has its own language and different components of the system. All of these components work together to keep Monday.com working smoothly. When we refer to a board, think of the board as a project whiteboard that virtually manages and tracks all of your tasks. Also, as the Monday.com website says, these boards are incredibly interactive and collaborative. These boards are designed to work with you. Within these boards, groups help organize and categorize any items or information that are on these boards. Items are individual rows within the boards or groups. Additionally, columns house the fields necessary to store information in the Monday.com accreditation schedule management system. This will be discussed on a subsequent slide. In order to log into the Monday.com accreditation schedule management system, you need to create a username and password if you have not already. To create the account, go to the main login screen. Click on the bottom where it says, if you have an @kean.edu email, you can sign up to Kean's account. Then it will take you to create a password. Then you are in Monday.com. You should see the OAA accreditation workspace on the left-hand side of the screen, which includes the boards that you have access to. Again, the level of access is dependent on your role. For instance, academic affairs, OAA at both WKU and Kean USA, and the leadership of SADE have access to all 6 boards, whereas deans, accreditation coordinators, and chairpersons of programs with specialized accreditation only have access to the boards from their specific college. To access the board, simply click on the board or boards that you have access to. All programs have exclusively viewer privileges for their boards. There is no ability to edit. Now I am going to explain the fields that are in your Monday.com board. Since this is a lot of information, I have decided to capture all this information in a handy PDF handout that will be posted on the OAA website alongside this presentation. I will use the Michael Graves board to demonstrate the fields that are in these boards. As you can see on the far left of the screen, here are the accrediting agencies that are housed in Michael Graves College. This field has the abbreviation of the agency followed by the full name of the agency in parentheses. Next, we look to the right where we can see the programs that are accredited by these accrediting bodies. These fields contain a list of the programs that are accredited by the accrediting bodies of Michael Graves. To the right of that field is the status of last accreditation. This contains the status of last accreditation as indicated by the respective accrediting body. The evidence of good standing is usually on the website of the accrediting body. This is to let individuals know that the program or programs that are accredited by the accrediting body are accredited in good standing. This is linked directly to the website of the accrediting body. For NAB, for instance, if we click on the link that is under Evidence of Good Standing, this will take you to the Evidence of Good Standing for NAB. What is actually contained in the Evidence of Good Standing varies by accrediting body. However, generally, Evidences of Good Standing contain such information including but not limited to the start dates and end dates of accreditation cycles, the degree and specific programs that are accredited. Some say which standards these programs are accredited under, and the campuses of these accredited programs. Next, you will see the accreditation documentation field. I will explain this on the next slide. These next fields provide space for up to 3 accreditation coordinators and their email addresses. This is self-explanatory, as these fields are just the names and emails of those individuals that handle accreditation. For accreditation coordinator number 1, you can put the primary accreditation contact and their email, followed by any secondary accreditation coordinators in number 2 and number 3. The next 3 fields have to do with annual reports. If your accrediting body requires an annual report, please indicate the date of the last annual report completed as well as the date of the upcoming annual report. Some of your accrediting bodies do not have annual report requirements, so these 3 fields might not apply to you. However, for those of you that do, please indicate the date of the last annual report and the date of the next annual report, which is the report that is upcoming. To the right of those fields contain the drives housing annual reports for that specific accrediting body, if the accrediting body requires annual reports. In these fields, please indicate the date of your last self-study completed with your accrediting body as well as the date of the next self-study. If the date of the self-study for your accrediting body is unknown, please put an approximate date. When the date of the self-study is known, please report that in the closest monday.com update to your self-study. The next field indicates the administrators that are required to sign off on your self-study. Again, I will emphasize this, but different accrediting bodies have different requirements. This can be a provost, a president, a dean, whatever administrator is required to sign off on the self-study. In these fields, please indicate the date of your last accreditation site visit as well as the upcoming accreditation site visit. In these fields, please put the last program response to the last site visit as well as the response from the program due for the next site visit. The next fields are related to site visits, which are site visit fees and required attendance at site visit. These fields are for the site visit date of invoice, site visit fee amount, and site visit due date, respectively. If there is a site visit fee assessed, please fill in the information associated with this. Similar to the required attendance at self-study fields, please indicate the administrators that are required to be in attendance at the site visit, example being a dean, a provost, a president, etc. Again, this varies based on the accrediting body, but please be sure to verify this with your accrediting body. The next group of fields deals with accreditation-related dues and fees. These fees track your due dates, dates of invoice, and specific fees that are due to the accrediting agencies. This set of fees encompass the annual fee. This fee can be called the annual membership fee, accreditation fee. It varies based on your accrediting body. Please provide the information for the date of invoice, the amount, and the due date. The monday.com accreditation schedule management system has room for up to 4 additional fees. Once again, like the rest of the fee fields, if there are additional fees, please indicate the name, date of invoice, amount, and due date. Here we have these fields for fee number 1, fee number 2, Fee number 3, and fee number 4. Backtracking for a second, the accreditation documentation field contains documentation for your accrediting body. This documentation includes, but is not limited to, copies of self-studies, program responses to site visits, letters of good standing, etc. Please keep OAA apprised of any additional documentation to add to the drive. OAA will upload all documentation on our end. Programs do not have the ability to upload documentation from their end. With regards to requests for updates, those occur from our office twice an academic year. Those happen every November in the fall and every April in the spring. The responses that are currently in Monday.com should be carefully reviewed by those that maintain these responses, namely chairs and/or accreditation coordinators of programs. Those individuals should keep us informed of any changes and/or updates to the data as well as the fields. OAA will make the changes on our end as end users have view-only access. On this slide are a list of stakeholder resources, including the website for Monday.com, which includes the link to the Monday.com Help Center, the OAA website, as well as all OAA staff. Thank you for watching this presentation about Monday.com. Any questions beyond this presentation, please reach out to rcon@kean.edu and/or assessment@kean.edu. An accompanying handout will be posted on the OAA website with the explanations of fields as well as the login instructions. Thank you once again.